It seemed like just another normal day, until Zeno asked the Grand Priest something no one had ever imagined. "Do you remember how we met?" The Grand Priest smiled for the first time in a long time. How could I forget? Millions of years ago, before the 12 universes existed, the Grand Priest had been imprisoned in a prison capable of sealing even divine beings. Chained by a mysterious force, he was condemned to remain there for all eternity. It was then that a small boy appeared before the bars. It was Zeno. Without showing fear, he simply extended his hand and, with a simple gesture, destroyed the entire prison as if it had never existed. At that moment, the Grand Priest knelt before him. "Did you free me?" Zeno replied, smiling. "Because no one deserves to be imprisoned forever." From that day forward, the Grand Priest swore that he would follow and protect Zeno with his own existence, and that is why his loyalty to the King of All can never be broken. Sidra calls Frieza seeking revenge against Beerus for their elimination by the 7th universe in the Tournament of Power. Frieza sees an opportunity to take advantage of this and asks the God of Destruction of the 9th universe if he hasn't learned his lesson yet. Sidra replies that he knows what Frieza wants: to reign above Zeno, and that he can help him achieve this. The Emperor of the Universe asks how, and the God of Destruction replies that to do so, he will first have to clear the path by eliminating a good portion of the existing gods of destruction. But unfortunately, he is not yet at the level for that. However, he knows a way to kill the gods without having to confront them directly. Frieza is surprised and asks how. Sidra says that first they need to make a deal, and Frieza asks what kind of deal that is. Sidra replies saying that Frieza can eliminate all the gods of destruction, except him, and in exchange, he will order his angel to take him to Zeno. Frieza says the deal is done, and when Sidra was about to reveal how to kill the gods, Beerus and Whis appear, and Frieza tells him to call back later and hangs up on the God of Destruction. It seemed like just another normal day, until a dark energy enveloped planet Earth. Goku and Vegeta rushed to investigate and found Black Frieza waiting for them. With a smile, Frieza said, "You've finally arrived. I want you to witness the birth of the true Emperor of the Gods." Goku replied that Lord Zeno would never allow that, but Frieza only laughed. "I realized in the Tournament of Power that Zeno doesn't rule alone. His kingdom exists because there are gods of destruction maintaining the order of the universes." Then he revealed his true plan. "I will hunt down each god of destruction, one by one. Without them, the angels will disappear. When they all fall, no one will be able to stop my arrival at Zeno's palace." Goku clenched his fists. "Have you gone mad, Frieza?" The Emperor only smiled. "No, son Goku. I've finally stopped thinking like a mere mortal. I don't want to just conquer Universe 7 or waste my time with some idiotic revenge against you. I want to rule above the King of All." And before Goku and Vegeta's eyes, Black Frieza vanished, beginning the greatest hunt against the gods in all of history. Goku appeared before Zeno with a request no one expected. "Zeno, can you train me?" The Grand Priest was completely shocked. "Lord Goku, that's impossible. The King of All doesn't train warriors." But Goku smiled. "I've already trained with King Kai, with Whis. I've faced gods. Now I want to learn from the strongest of them all." Zeno looked at Goku for a few seconds and began to laugh. "No one has ever asked me that before." Even Zeno's 2 guards exchanged glances, unable to believe what they were hearing. The Grand Priest then warned, "If Lord Zeno accepts, the entire universe could change." Zeno remained silent for a few moments. Then he broke into a huge smile and replied, "All right, Goku, but you might regret making that request." Daishinkan warned Zeno that someone is approaching his palace. Zeno says he noticed and that it's not just one person. The Grand Priest confirms this, stating that there are several evil presences, but one in particular is very strong and that they should prepare. Zeno orders him to stand guard at the gate, and his guards take their positions. Upon reaching the gate, Daishinkan notices that the one approaching is Frieza, a member of Team 7 from the Tournament of Power. He sees the Emperor of Evil with his giant army in a spaceship. One of his soldiers asks where they are going, and Frieza replies that they are heading towards the most dangerous being in the universe. The soldier is surprised and says that there is no one more powerful than the great Frieza. The Emperor of the Universe responds that there is, but none of the vermin on the ship have had the honor of meeting him, and that he is capable of erasing entire universes with a snap of his fingers. He says he can't believe someone like that exists, and asks how Frieza will get to him, and Frieza reveals that when he struck Goku, he stole from his pocket the button that will put him face to face with Zeno and will not give his guards time to react. Goku makes an unexpected request to Whis. "Whis, could you unleash Super Saiyan 4 within me?" Whis raised an eyebrow. "But that transformation only awakened in the demon realm. It doesn't belong to this universe." Goku smiled. "Even so, I managed to reach it. There must be a way to bring it back." Whis closed his eyes and analyzed Goku's energy for a few moments. Then he replied, "The power still exists within you, but it's bound by the laws of this universe." Goku took a step forward. "Then teach me how to break those laws." Whis smiled discreetly. "So you want me to teach you how to break the laws by awakening a transformation that your own dimension tries to prevent?" At that instant, Whis uses his staff and Goku Goku's tail appears for a brief second, and even Beerus noticed that there was something different about him besides the tail. Whis confesses to Goku that he was responsible for the accident the Saiyan suffered when he was still a baby. Goku asks what accident he's talking about, and the angel replies that Goku was too young to remember, but that his adoptive grandfather took him for a walk in the forest when he mysteriously fell off a cliff, suffering a severe blow to the head. From then on, his behavior changed, becoming calmer and ceasing to act like a Saiyan, which is why Goku lost a large part of his memories. Goku asks what Whis has to do with it, and the angel replies that he took advantage of his grandfather's distraction to cause the accident, even stating that it was so easy and subtle that Son Gohan didn't even notice his presence. Goku is confused and asks Whis why he did it, and the angel replies with something no one expected. It's because Goku's destiny willed it so. Goku asks what destiny, and Whis replies that since Goku was born, he has been predestined to become an angel. None of it was by chance. His accident, his acceptance of training the Saiyan on the Destroyer's planet, and especially his mastering Ultra Instinct, it was all written in the stars. Future Zeno disappears, completely changing the course of the universe. Grand Priest entered the palace in despair. Zeno notices and asks what happened. Lord Zeno, I need to tell you something about the other you. Zeno approached and asked what happened. Future Zeno is dead. The Omni King is speechless. Dead, Grand Priest nodded. Yes, it seems someone discovered the only way to defeat him. Zeno lowered his head, then his eyes began to fill with tears. But he was my best friend. Grand Priest was surprised to see the king of everything crying. I wanted to be able to play with him again. Zeno began to cry even harder. I thought he would always be there. The two guards were in shock, and the entire palace began to tremble. Zeno says that if he finds out who did this, the culprit and their universe will be punished. Grand Priest simply closed his eyes and remained silent, for he discovered something in Zeno that he never imagined. The Omni King felt the pain of someone's loss. I want to see who will guess who killed Future Zeno. It seemed like just another normal day, until Goku appeared before Zeno with a request no one expected. Zeno, can you train me? The Grand Priest was completely shocked. Lord Goku, that's impossible. The King of All doesn't train warriors, but Goku smiled. I've already trained with King Kai, with Whis. I've faced gods. Now I want to learn from the strongest of them all. Zeno looked at Goku for a few seconds and began to laugh. No one has ever asked me that before. Even Zeno's two guards exchanged glances, unable to believe what they were hearing. The Grand Priest then warned, if Lord Zeno accepts, the entire universe could change. Zeno remained silent for a few moments. Then he broke into a huge smile and replied, all right, Goku, but you might regret making that request. Do you want a sequel? Frieza discovers that Goku went to train at Zeno's palace through a device he implanted in the Saiyan during their last encounter to monitor him. The Emperor of the 7th Universe overheard a conversation between him and the leaders of the 7th Universe, where he said that training with the Angel Whis was ineffective, and that he needed to increase his level. He also heard the Angel of the 7th Universe say that he would take the Saiyan to Daishinkan to see what they could do. Upon arriving there, Grand Priest gave Goku new clothes, causing the monitoring device to disappear. Therefore, he will no longer know what the Saiyan's next step is. Frieza is furious about this, and one of his subordinates tells him to calm down, saying it shouldn't be that serious. Frieza tells him to shut up, saying that he has no idea of Zeno and Daishinkan level, and that if Goku trains with them, it will be much more difficult to conquer all the universes. The subordinate flatters Frieza, saying that his power surpasses anyone's, and Frieza replies that although he surpassed the Saiyans with his black form, he is still far from Omni King level. The Emperor becomes so frustrated upon hearing this that he begins to cry. Goku feels guilty about the Angel's deaths. After all, it was his idea to bring Frieza out of Hell so he could participate in the tournament. Therefore, he asks Daishinkan to spare Whis, Beerus, and the 7th Universe, punishing only himself. Beerus is surprised by Goku, as it's one of the few times he's seen him acting so coldly and seriously, since most of the time he's the biggest idiot of all, in the words of the God of Destruction himself. Daishinkan faces Goku and says he can't do anything against him on orders from Zeno himself. Goku begs the Grand Priest to give Universe 7 another chance and that they will correct their mistakes. Daishinkan asks how they intend to do this, and Goku replies that he will defeat Frieza with his own hands, and after that, Universe 7 will use the Super Dragon Balls to bring back the gods and angels killed by the Emperor of Evil. Grand Priest tells Goku to ask the Omni King for this, as he was ordered to bring Beerus and Whis to his palace to punish them, so the Saiyan will have to ask him personally. Vegeta tells Goku that it's time to revive his parents. Goku finds this absurd and asks how Vegeta intends to do it. The Prince of the Saiyans wastes no time and says they will use the Dragon Balls. Goku is surprised and questions why Vegeta would decide this out of the blue. After all, his parents died many years ago. Vegeta replies that he's been thinking about it since he met the Saiyans of the 6th universe and heard about planet Sadala. This awakened in him a desire to re-establish the Saiyans race, reviving all the kind-hearted Saiyans who were killed by Frieza, and this includes Goku's parents and almost half of planet Vegeta. Goku is confused and tells Vegeta that he's heard terrible things about King Vegeta, and that if the wish is to revive the kind-hearted Saiyans, he regrets to inform him. but he thinks Vegeta's father won't be revived. The Prince of the Saiyans laughs and calls Goku an idiot, saying he knows this and doesn't care about his father, and that he only wants to re-establish the kind-hearted Saiyans of the 7th universe, who will be a race as evolved as, or even more evolved than, his father. More than the Saiyans of Universe 6, and believes that Shenlong is capable of doing this currently. After all, his race was not destroyed by the god of destruction, but by another mortal. Daishin-Kan and Zeno decide to summon Zarama, the creator of the Super Dragon Balls. Of course, this wouldn't be possible without summoning the great Super Shenlong, the most powerful dragon god in the universe. The Grand Priest gathered the Super Dragon Balls and called upon Super Shenlong in the divine language. The colossal golden dragon appeared and asked what the Supreme Priest's wish was. Grand Priest replied that this time he didn't want to make a wish, but a request. He then said he wanted Zarama to appear at Zeno's palace. Super Shenlong said he didn't know exactly where his creator was at the moment, as he had been wandering the 12 universes for millions of years, but that he could find him. Grand Priest ordered him to do so immediately, and Super Shenlong obeyed, locating his creator. When he made contact with Zarama and told him everything that was happening, the entire palace began to tremble, and Super Shenlong was so terrified that he retreated. It was at this moment that Zarama, the most powerful being in the universe, appeared. The universe appears for the first time, already confronting Daishin-Kan for the inconvenience. Whis confesses to the Grand Priest that he once revealed the secret of the gods of destruction to Goku, but that it was by mistake. The Grand Priest gets angry with the angel of the 7th universe for the first time, saying that he shouldn't have done that under any circumstances. Beerus, frightened, tells the Grand Priest that he warned Whis about this. The Grand Priest says he's talking to his son. The god of destruction immediately falls silent, and the Grand Priest asks Goku if he told anyone else. The Saiyan replies that he didn't, and that he didn't even remember it after all, when Whis told him he was dealing with much bigger problems. The Grand Priest then asks Whis how Frieza discovered this secret and began killing his angels indiscriminately, and Whis replies that there is only one possible way. The Grand Priest asks how, and Whis replies that he may have discovered it through Zeno, the one who has omniscience of everything. The Grand Priest says that makes a lot of sense, and at that moment he senses that the presence of another angel has disappeared. Do you want a sequel? While walking through Zeno's palace, Goku asks Whis how he came to the conclusion that he's no match for the Grand Priest. Whis tells him to speak quietly and asks why he wants to know that. Goku whispers that the last time they passed through this place, the angel told him never to challenge the Grand Priest, saying that not even the angel of the 7th universe could defeat him, and that he just wanted to know how he came to that conclusion. Whis reveals that in the past he was one of the few angels who had the privilege of training directly with the Grand Priest due to his low talent in martial arts, unlike other older and more experienced angels like Kusu, who were already very powerful when Whis appeared. So just as Whis eventually gives Goku and Vegeta the opportunity to fight him amateurishly, the Grand Priest gave Whis the same opportunity when he trained him, and the difference in level between them at that time was exponentially greater than the difference between Goku and Whis, and he knows this just by observing the way the Saiyan fights. Goku is surprised and at the same time discouraged. Whis asks what's wrong, and the Saiyan replies that he now knows he will probably die without having the pleasure of facing an angel in a serious battle. Piccolo asks Whis to train him. The angel of the 7th universe asks why, and the Namekian replies that he saw how much Goku and Vegeta evolved when they started training on the god of destruction's planet, and that he feels he has fallen behind. Whis asks if he thinks he can withstand intense training like the Saiyans do, and Piccolo replies that it's obvious after all. He is the great Piccolo and also belongs to a warrior race. Whis says that's fine then, but first he will have to give a demonstration. The Namekian asks how, and Whis tells him to show his highest level. At that moment, the Namekian begins to raise his fighting power and shows the angel his orange form. Whis says it's impressive, but that alone isn't enough to convince him to train him. Piccolo asks what else he has to do, and Whis replies that Beerus only allows a new visitor to his planet if he gives him something extraordinary to eat, something the god of destruction has never tasted before. Piccolo says that this is an unusual situation, but that he will find a way to find this delicious food. Whis tells him that when he finds it, he will be waiting for him on the planet of the god of destruction. Piccolo grabs his arm, telling him to wait because it won't be long. The angel orders him not to touch him.